Hello, my dear students. In the last class, we have already discussed about 9 principles of green chemistry. These are waste prevention, atom economy, less hazardous chemical synthesis, designing safer chemicals, safer solvents and auxiliaries, design for energy efficiency, use of renewable feedstocks, reduce derivatives, and catalysis. Today, we will discuss about three other principles of green chemistry. These are design for degradation, real-time pollution prevention, and safer chemistry for accident prevention. Firstly, we can discuss about design for degradation into non-persistent products in the environment. We know non-biodegradable products like pesticides accumulate in organisms, that is known as bioaccumulation, and magnify at higher trophic levels of the hierarchy of organisms, that is called biomagnification. Most of the thermoplastic and thermosetting polymers widely used currently are non-biodegradable and thereby cause extensive environmental pollution. Various other polymers currently in use are also non-biodegradable. While designing a synthesis, it is essential to ensure that all the products formed are biodegradable and that they break down into harmless degradation products without persisting in the environment. A typical example for designing a green synthesis is the production of biodegradable polymers. Biodegradable plastics and bio-based polymers, which are based on annually renewable agriculture and biomass feedstock, can form the basis for various kinds of eco-friendly products. A potential biodegradable polyester is polylactic acid, produced by the self-polycondensation of lactic acid from the bacterial fermentation of starch. Polylactic acid or polylactide is a thermoplastic polyester with backbone formula C3H4O2 N times, formerly obtained by condensation of lactic acid with loss of water. It can also be prepared by ring opening polymerization of lactide, the cyclic dimer of the basic repeating unit. Here, the formation of polylactic acid is shown. That is, it is obtained by the condensation of lactic acid with loss of water or by the ring opening polymerization of lactide. The poly-beta hydroxy alkynoate class of polyesters constitute another commercially important category of biodegradable polymers. Polyhydroxy alkynoate or PHAs are polyesters produced in nature by numerous microorganisms, including through bacterial fermentation of sugars or lipids. These plastics are biodegradable and are used in the production of bioplastics. Here, the structure of poly-3-hydroxybutyrate and poly-3-hydroxyvalerate are shown. One member of this class, poly-beta-hydroxybutyrate or PHB, for which N is equal to 0, is synthesized by the bacterium Alcaligenes eutrophus, which uses PHB as an energy storage medium. Binding commercial thermoplastics like the polyalkenes with a biodegradable material like starch is another method that has been tried to produce biodegradability. This is based on the assumption that as the degradable material is consumed by soil microorganisms, the plastic structure would also be broken down. Next, we can discuss about the 11th principle of green chemistry. It is the development of real-time analysis for pollution prevention. We know industries produce hazardous substances and byproducts. The byproducts are often dumped directly into the environment. The industrial products are used in other industries and laboratories without any thought being given to the environmental impacts that they might produce. Currently, methodologies to monitor and control the production and utilization of these hazardous materials are very limited. Therefore, analytical methodologies need to be further developed to allow for real-time in-process monitoring and control prior to the formation of hazardous substances. Many efforts in the green chemistry industry are being made in order to increase the monitoring, surveillance, identification and analysis of the products, as well as for reporting of the production of hazardous, toxic, and disease-causing agents. Quality assurance computational software tools are being tried for controlling the processes and for ensuring the safety of the products in the green chemistry industry field. Next, we can discuss about the 12th principle of green chemistry. This is the last principle. The 12th principle is inherently safer chemistry for accident prevention, that is prevention of chemical accidents. We know negligence and non-adherence to safety rules and measures cause accidents in laboratories and industrial plants. Several examples for poisonous gas leaks, explosions, and fires from industrial plants at various places in the world can be seen if we examine the history of such accidents. A typical example was the Bhopal disaster that occurred at the Union Carbide India Limited pesticide plant in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh in the night of 2nd December 1984. It was the most terrible gas leak incident in the history, and it was considered one of the world's worst industrial catastrophes. A leak of extremely poisonous methyl isocyanate gas and other extremely hazardous chemicals like phosgene from the plant resulted in the exposure of hundreds of thousands of people in the city. According to the government of Madhya Pradesh, a total of 3,787 immediate deaths occurred and around 3,000 people died within weeks, and another 8,000 have since died from gas exposure related diseases. About 4,000 persons suffered severe and permanently disabling injuries, and about 50,000 were partially or temporarily affected. These are some of the heartbreaking images from Bhopal gas tragedy. Another example was the Seveso disaster in Seveso, Italy on 10th July 1976, in which release of dioxins from a chemical manufacturing plant affected nearly 200 people and killed about 3,000 pets and farm animals. About 70,000 animals were later slaughtered to prevent dioxins from entering the food chain. An explosion on July 10, 1976 of a small chemical plant in Milan, Italy caused 6 tons of TCDD, that is 2378 tetrachlorodibenzoyl to be released into the surrounding 18 km square. The contaminants entered surface soil and seeped into the food chain of the surrounding populations. Not only were crops supplies affected, around 3,300 of the poultry supply died due to consumption of crops. Upon further study, it was found that there was an increase in death from lymphatic and hematopoietic cancers in the most polluted areas and an increase in skin diseases in the population. The deadly picture of Seveso's disaster in Italy is shown in the figure. Green chemistry never allows such accidents to happen. It advocates avoiding industrial and laboratory reactions involving poisonous gases and explosive materials. Alternative pathways are sought in green chemistry for the production of a material which does not involve the use of such chemicals. Use of volatile poisonous solvents is discouraged and the use of water, supercritical carbon dioxide and ionic liquids is advised wherever possible. Non-explosive solid-state reactions are also investigated as alternatives to the use of volatile solvents. Substances and their forms used in a chemical process should be chosen to minimize the potential for chemical accidents, including releases, explosions, and fires. These are some of the methods for the prevention of chemical accidents. Here we have discussed about 12 principles of green chemistry. Now we can analyze what are the benefits of green chemistry to the human health, environment, economy. While considering about human health, green chemistry provides cleaner air, cleaner water, and increased safety. Less release of hazardous chemicals to air leading to less damage to lungs. Less release of hazardous chemical waste to water leading to cleaner drinking and recreational water. Increased safety for workers in the chemical industry. Less use of toxic materials. Less personal protective equipment required. Less potential for accidents. Moreover, safer consumer products of all types. New safer products will become available for purchase. Some products will be made with less waste. Some products will be replacements for less safe products. Safer food. Elimination of persistent toxic chemicals that can enter the food chain. Safer pesticides that are toxic only to specific pests and degrade rapidly after use. Moreover, less exposure to such toxic chemicals as endocrine disruptors. Green chemistry provides many benefits to the environment. Many chemicals end up in the environment by intentional release during use, by unintended release, or by disposal. Green chemicals either degrade to harmless products or they are recovered for further use. Plants and animals suffer less harm from toxic chemicals in the environment, lower potential for global warming, ozone depletion and smog formation, less chemical disruption of ecosystem, less use of landfills, especially hazardous waste landfills. There are a number of benefits of green chemistry while considering about economy and business. Higher yields for chemical reactions consuming smaller amounts of feedstock to obtain the same amount of product. Fewer synthetic steps, often allowing faster manufacturing of products, increasing plant capacity and saving energy and water. Reduced waste, eliminating costly remediation, hazardous waste disposal, and end of the pipe treatments. Allow replacement of a purchased feedstock by a waste product. Better performance so that less product is needed to achieve the same function. Reduced use of petroleum products, slowing their depletion and avoiding their hazardous and price fluctuations. Reduced manufacturing plant size or footprint through increased throughput. Increased consumer sales by earning and displaying a safer product label. Improved competitiveness of chemical manufacturers and their customers. These are the some of the benefits of green chemistry in the field of economy and business. Today we have discussed about the last three principles of green chemistry and what are the benefits of green chemistry in the various fields. Thank you.